Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone, and good evening, and welcome to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Caring for Animals, number 460 shows in county. And I just wanted to announce this is the last show for 2024, and we're going to be rocking the airways again, and I will be returning January the 9th of 2025, and it'll be Vigil for Elephants with that super team that's coming back. So anyway, I hope you join us back next year. I'm going to go over a couple of things here before I do get started. My name is Debbie Dahmer, and I am the host and producer of Voices Caring for Animals, a.k.a. Mama Bear. And Mama Bear is in the house. So we're going to just go over a couple of things here. I do have some bad news. Blog Talk Radio is closing down on January the 31st of 2025. I'm not sure what's going on. I have been emailing them and in contact, and they are not selling it, which there's something wrong with this picture, but they've been going on since September of 2006. So that means there's going to be a lot of jobs lost and to shut down, and it's only platform like this. So I'm going to keep getting the word out, and hopefully they can be back by popular demand. And once I get done with them, I will blast it all over the place and ask for everyone to write emails to please keep them on board. But anyway, I wanted to announce on December the 3rd, the other night, Tuesday, I was invited to Turnbuckle Turmoil, and it was a great tribute to my father, ex-professional wrestler, Chief Whiteout, a.k.a. George Dahmer. It was a wonderful tribute, everyone. If you want to check it out, I got it on his tribute wrestling page on Chief Whiteout Pro Wrestling Legend. He wrestled in the late 50s to the early 80s, started out big-time wrestling, WWF, and then WWE. But I miss my father. He was loving and caring. He got up in the ring. He loved his family, his friends, and fans. And back in 2008, we had a terrible nightmare happened where he had dementia, ran away. So most of you that don't know, and then they Baker acted him. They wanted to do some more testing on the meds he was on. Supposed to go in for 120 days in a nursing home and never returned home after 2 months. He walked, talked, fed himself. After 2 months, we demanded him out of there. And it was, so devastating and frustrating what he went through and his family went through. Then the next nursing home said that he had bed sores, stage 4 down to the bone, and lost 32 pounds in 8 weeks. He had, they diagnosed him with malnutrition, dehydration. Where they dropped him, his rotary caps were turned. They notified the family 4 days later. And then he had the decubitus ulcers on the bottom of his feet where they put size 8 on him and he wore a 10. There is no absolutely excuse for this, okay? So I did a tribute show for him. And, would love and miss him forever. May he rest in peace. But this tribute was wonderful, and I can't thank Turnbuckle Turmoil, Jason Amos, enough for doing this interview, and he invited me back. But, where my mother had, so she won the wrongful death or wrongful suit back in 2012 of November, and if they got charged with wrongful death and falsifying records, and then fighting them for the punitive damages here in Florida, they mandated her pay 50% of the punitive damages awarded by the jury to help improve the quality care nursing homes. The nursing home was crying short staffing. There's a lot of that going on, everyone. I had brought it up in this interview the other night with Jason Amos. And it's sickening, okay? And because we need nurses and doctors and everything. And there's good nursing homes and there's bad nursing homes. But what we went through is so, it's unacceptable. And then when she had to pay the 50% to help improve the quality care nursing home, the punitive damages awarded, I've been fighting it 5 times. I got in legislation. And it's died out, and I can't figure out why. It's like a slap in the face. But anyway, if you want to visit my group on Help Stop Elder Abuse on Facebook, and thank you to all you animal advocates that have multitasking came over there. It's wonderful. I used to have with Marty Oakley, but she passed away April 1st of 2023. She is the one that got me started on Voices Caring for Animals back in February of 2014. And when I did an interview with her, a 2-hour interview on my father, we kept in contact, and I had brought up, hey, you want to start up a show for the animals? And we did a pilot show, and it blew up. And I was like, wow. So after that, I think it was the 5th or 6th show of Voices Caring for Animals on TS Radio Network, were 163 shows I did on her network. She helped me get Animal Advocates Radio together, and what a team player. I miss her so much. And then from 164 show to now at 467, we are going strong, everyone. And I'm going to go over a couple things here. I want to thank all of you out there for being a part of the Voices Caring for Animals family to make it a total success. All the former wonderful guests, the callers, the listeners, and love your ongoing support. And I hope in 2025 you're right there with me too, okay? So please, let's keep, fighting for the animals and not giving up, being relentless and, optimistic, proactive, and we can all do it, okay? Because the longer the victories come in, the longer the animals suffer. But I'm going to, towards the end of the show, I have some more good news, but I'll mention that because I want to bring my guest on because I got a new YouTube channel starting up. So you got to visit and subscribe, Voices Caring for Animals. But I'll mention that towards the end of the show. I'm going to bring her on and welcome her back because she's out there. She fights hard, and I told her earlier that, you know, Kate, we've been in connection for a while, ever since, like, I'm going back as far as 2016 doing shows with her, and I'm going to do some further research, and I bet it's longer than that. But she is, Kate MacFall is the Florida State Director for the Humane Society of the United States. Welcome back, Kate. This is wonderful.
Well, thank you.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. And it's so fun that we've been talking and doing this for so many years. I'm glad to be back.
All right. And you're always welcome back. You know that? Always welcome back. Yes.
Well, thank you.
You're out there working hard and doing your
I am
thing
trying.
and making changes.
They're trying, and there's a lot to be done in Florida, really a lot everywhere. But Florida is a unique state in that it's, you know, obviously one of the larger states, and it's very diverse, like North Florida, the Panhandle versus Central versus South Florida. They're all very different from one another. And there's a whole lot of legislative issues, and our wildlife agency is unique. So there's a host of issues. We had Amendment 2 passed this election cycle, which was bad. We opposed it. We joined the coalition, the No to 2 coalition, and unfortunately, it passed. And I think most people didn't understand really what it does, because most people care about animals, and on the surface it's fine. But the Amendment 2, the right to hunt, and the right to hunt is fine. Nobody was taking away that. It's being threatened, but it basically use the words traditional, which is frightening, and meaning is the preferred means of managing wildlife, like hunting and fishing being the preferred means of managing wildlife. So it will hinder our work going forward, trying to make wildlife, you know, hunting or trapping or any of those issues, trying to make them more humane. So it's sad, but it passed with a high percentage. So I you know, we're gonna, you know, have to deal with it and move on, because there's no stopping. We can't just stop and be depressed about it, because, you know, we have too much work to do. We can't do that. So it doesn't do anything exactly right this second, but again, what it will do is it puts it in the Constitution. It didn't need to; it was already in the statute. But as the wildlife agency, which in Florida, our wildlife agency is constitutional authority, so they have a lot of authority. It will most likely hinder their work. You know, there will be threats of lawsuits if they do anything more humane, and try to adapt and become like in this century, right? Some of the practices are so antiquated, and if they try to modernize and make things more humane, we know that several of the industries, you know, are likely to sue them. So we'll have to see, right? We will just have to see. But in the meantime, we've got work to do. So we are not stopping, and there are so many advocates, so many really good advocates in Florida for all animals, but certainly for wildlife. And that's really the takeaway. And, you know, I want people to come to Wildlife Commission meetings. They have about 4 or 5 a year, and getting people to come there during the day, and they you know, mix up their locations. There are different places around the state. But that's really what I try to get people to come to the commission meetings and show up. Because the other side shows up, we got to show up. And that's a big part of it, is just being present.
Oh, yeah, and like you said, you know, we can't give up. There's something that fails or whatever. We have to come back stronger and better, and encourage more advocates to step on board, because the more of us, we are all better together than apart, and we become stronger.
So true.
You know, we have to use our voices and actions, because that's important, everyone out there. You know, we can't, this platform, we're sitting there, you know, discussing what's going on, what's behind the scenes, you know, asking for your support to help out. If we don't get out there and take action outside of this platform, we're only spinning our wheels, and we don't want that.
That's right.
You know, Take the time
right.
and make that phone call, sign that petition, write that letter. And it doesn't get any easier than helping make a change just from the home, comfort of your home. Your phone, your computer,
right?
Your fax, or you can write emails, write letters, right, Kate? I mean, it's so easy.
All of that helps. And additionally, if all of that helps, you're exactly right, and that can get your foot in the door. But also showing up in person is great as well if you can. And so that's also very valuable. And getting people to show up and speak up is sometimes a little harder, but a phone call is very meaningful as well. So all of the above, but we need people to be respectful and polite to our elected officials and to our decision makers, but also, like you said, work with others. We're stronger together, and we are stronger and better and get more done when we work with other groups. And I push for that. I'm a big supporter of, working with other animal groups, wildlife protection groups. It's better, it's smarter, and it's my comfort zone because I know it's just working smarter. And that's how I like to roll. And occasionally there's some group that doesn't always like to play with others, but most do because they also know it works. So in Florida, we do a lot of that working together, and I find that it is meaningful, and it is, brings us, more positive results. We do have a lot going on in Florida, and sometimes it's just preventing something bad. It's not all roses, but that's just, life in the big city. That's just how it goes. And we do our best to prevent bad things for animals, and we work hard chipping away trying to get the good things passed or in place to protect animals. And in the meantime, educating as we go and making allies and doing our absolute best. But it just takes, we can't let up, even though, we have some ups and downs. And my colleague Sam and I did a blog, one of Kitty's, we wrote a piece for Kitty's blog, and, about a loss. This Amendment 2 was definitely a loss. But we have to, pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get working again. So we are.
That is great. And teamwork in every area out there, whether it's jobs or animal organizations or, out there, the sports, it all takes teamwork to get to it. You can't just do it by yourself. It has to be strong teamwork. Strong leaders and strong supporters equals to strong victories, everyone. So just remember that. And you have to, we look at it and we see and all these problems from every angle. And when we multitask, which I do, I jump over, and help other, whatever I can do. And, I'm not just a one-calls person. I jump from here to there. And, with this radio platform, all this Voices Carry for Animals is for all animals. So I try to do my best outside of this platform. Like I'll be off, for this time for the Christmas, New Year's, and, getting it together for 2025, but I will still be advocating online, when I get a chance, because I got, I can't just give it up totally. I can't, I haven't been able to stay away from it for a couple of weeks, and, I'm just so dedicated. Well, good. Involved.
You're so committed. But I wanted to mention something. When you talked about elder abuse, it's a very tragic story, and I know that you're, all in and, working really, really hard. And there's such a carryover with neglect and cruelty to animals and cruelty or neglect to people, children, elders, and everyone in between. And that's very, on a couple of legislative issues I've worked on, there's huge carryover. And in fact, there's, statistics and studies that certainly, I won't get too in the weeds, but there is, when you go to a home, when there's a call out or a welfare check on an animal, that's commonplace now for them to flag it for other officials and vice versa. Now that there's a law in Florida, I worked on it, when somebody comes out for a check on the children, a child welfare check, to see if they're animals, and then to call animal control. Someone needs to check on the animals as well. So they go hand in hand, and it's, they're not on islands, right? So it's good, and one can help the other and vice versa. But, where there are people, there are pets, all kinds of pets, some more than others. I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of pets. I have a lot of pets. But where there are humans, there are pets. And, where there's abuse or something happening, we're all in this together. So there's a huge connection. It's a factual connection, the link. But I just wanted to say that it's important to work on all of the above. And once our, law enforcement and decision makers see the link and understand it, that helps all the causes because they are connected. So I just wanted to add that.
Oh, yeah. That's so true, too, because I know, being admin on the Help Stop Elder Abuse, the elderly, the children, the animals, they don't have a voice. And we have to be their voice and fight for them, or there's no hope to carry on. They don't stand a fighting chance. And we have to go after stricter laws because it's overwhelming out there, everyone. Like I said, I multitask, and it doesn't take that much time because over the years I've gotten so fast it makes my head spin when I put them tabs up, run over, go to Facebook and X and LinkedIn and start sharing them away, And having, because with this platform, it has to be promoted out there on the social media. And I thank everyone out there that's helping me. I mean, big animal pages, groups on X and Facebook. This list is huge. And it took, time to get it built up like that. But once we start from A, we go to B, we go to C. Let's hit the victories, everyone, because that's where we do the victory dance or happy dance, right? That's where it counts.
That's right.
I love
that.
The victory dance.
Yes. Oh, we all do.
Yep.
You're so right about that.
Yep. Because I know I'm not spinning my wheels whether I'm involved or not, and I can't take. It takes a human chain reaction to take action. I can't change things myself. I can't do it alone. And if more of us come together, I've seen victories happen, and I'm like, I know I'm not spinning my wheels, whether it's on this platform or out there in the social media world. We have to work together, everyone. That's what it takes. You want to see change, you've got to take
show
action.
up and speak up. That's right.
Yep.
Right. And I work with advocates, encouraging them all that we have some wonderful advocates in Florida, and I work with a core group of amazing advocates. But I meet new advocates every day, and I'm so proud of a lot of folks. Some are great, but don't have the knowledge, but they will get it, and some care more than others, but they care. And the general consensus, people do care about animal protection. They do. They don't want to hear about the bad stuff, even though it's a reality. So there's a balance there, right? Making people aware without turning them off. But it's kind of inspiring them and energizing them to speak up, to talk to their lawmaker, do a Zoom call with your legislator. That's a big one. That's hard to get people to do that. It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard to inspire advocates to do that. Getting the appointments sometimes can take a little while, but it is hard, and it's a little unknown. But once they do it, they're like, oh, they're just people. And these people are making decisions on animal welfare, and they're hearing from the opposition, so they need to hear from us. And they hear from me, but it's better if they hear from their own constituents. So it's complicated, but the issues can be complicated, but the gist is not complicated. It's you matter as a constituent to that elected official, and they need to hear from you, and they're just people. And I say, well, ask them about their pets. There you go. Then you have a great conversation, and you've started that relationship because they do like to have trusted constituents in their district that they can rely on and call them about an animal issue. That could be helpful. Somebody on the ground, boots on the ground, who knows the issues and can be, give them good advice. I wanted to mention one bill or one issue that we're going to be looking at for 2025. I'm sure you and your listeners, you all remember the dog Trooper that was abandoned and tied to the fence when the hurricane was coming. Yes. Well, that was horrible, and we know that happens. And thankfully, that there was a good Samaritan that called law enforcement, so that wonderful highway patrolman saved him. And then the governor got on it and highlighted it, and it just all around the country, people were talking about this dog. And the good news is that happened, and that it shined the light on this issue. But it's a reality, and not every dog is, trooper and had all that attention. And I had a bill in 2020 that increased the penalty, or had a specific penalty for someone who evacuated for a hurricane and left their dog tethered outside. And the opposition killed it, so it didn't go anywhere. But now with this happening, with Trooper's great, by the way. He got a wonderful home. My good friends with Leon County Humane Society found a wonderful home, and he's just doing great.
That's wonderful.
All is well. I know.
Oh, my goodness. That's great news.
It is great news. But the takeaway is we're going to be pushing a legislative issue, hopefully a bill that will increase the penalty, have a specific penalty for just that, for someone evacuating a hurricane and leaving their dog tied up outside. I mean, that's crazy. And several people have said you shouldn't have to legislate that. There's a hurricane coming. But we do. So we are. And because of Trooper, because of this horrible situation, because of the good work done by law enforcement and all the attention from leadership that he got, I think, it has a good chance. And in 2020, it didn't have a good chance. So we're looking really forward to that. And again, the tethering, it kind of brings up the tethering element into Florida in the legislature, because tethering in general is a big issue in Florida. But certainly tethering, when you're evacuating for a hurricane, is just crazy and cruel beyond words. So when that cop got up to him, he was up to his belly in water, still tied to the fence.
It was sad, wasn't it? I couldn't believe it. I seen that, Kate, and I was like, "Are you in a hurricane? Oh, a hurricane's coming." It was Milton or Helene. But either one, it doesn't matter. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Oh, that's sick.
It's cruel. And he was charged.
They took this dog and tied it to a fence, and a hurricane's coming. Trooper, I remember passing that around, alerting everybody and everything. And I was like, how can anybody do that? And he's happy now. That's the good thing.
He's happy now, and this guy was charged. So with cruelty, because and you might say, well, why do you need this other bill? Because this other law, if they could just be charged with animal cruelty. Not everyone is right in the nick of time with the national spotlight and law enforcement and the governor speaking on his behalf, which is fabulous that he did. But many are not. They don't have all that awareness. So there are dogs, unfortunately, who are just left, and so we do need this. We do need this in our laws. So we're going to work on that this session.
That's great. Is there a bill number on that yet?
Not yet, no. Session technically begins in March. It changes every other year. It rotates. But committee weeks have actually already just started, but they will pick up in January and February, and then it officially begins in March. So as it gets closer, we'll have that. But at this point, not yet.
Great. Please keep me informed. I'll get out there and promote it, boost it.
Good. Yay, yes. That would be great. We've got a couple of good bills this session that we're really excited about. Another one is just about bringing a minor to an animal fight. So right now, it's to be a spectator is a felony, obviously participating in any way in an animal fight, dog fighting or cockfighting. But this would add bringing a minor, or it really would, committing any act of animal cruelty in the presence of a child would be a felony. And then the other thing this bill does, this one I'm working on, is increases the sentencing guidelines for someone who's convicted of animal fighting. So it's got an animal fighting kind of theme to it, and it's a good one. It's not particularly uplifting, but there have been, and law enforcement confirms this, an increase in cruelty, neglect, and animal fighting cases in Florida in the past about a year or so. And cockfighting is up, too, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I know. So it's not just like, we're so sensitive and we're so tuned into all these, there's more cases. But they've said, no, you're right. There are more cases. We're like, oh, okay, well, that's terrible. But they're aware, and so, we work together. We really like our law enforcement partners, and, so this would be a good tool for them to have that extra penalty for someone who is convicted of doing that.
I'm all for it. That sounds good to me, because those dogs in the dog society, they don't have a choice. They are forced,
so sad.
In there. They can't drive themselves there. They can't walk themselves there. They are trained to fight and kill, okay? And it's wrong.
Sad.
I wish they would turn over a new leaf and, feel for the animals, compassion, and get rid of it. We don't need it. Why? We never did. And the children there, that's a bad influence on them. They're starting out on the wrong foot. Because when you start, when you're young and in your younger years, you got to teach them to respect animals, and because they grow up in their adulthood doing the same. I mean, look at us, and we're going to continue that way. We could never turn around and be the abusers that's out there. There is no way. So everyone, please, support these. Kate the page on Facebook is it's the Humane Society United States, Florida.
Florida.
Please
that's right.
visit it.
Yes, and we will have that up once we have real bill numbers there. We're working on it, and we've got our Humane Lobby Day for Florida advocates to come to Tallahassee and speak up on behalf of animals. That's in the week of March 17th. So we're waiting on a couple of things there, but that's going to be that's always an important day. And the people come from all over the state. It's the most exciting and heartwarming day for me because
that's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, they do come from all over and they talk to their lawmakers about these issues, and it sends a message that animal protection is very important to Floridians. And that's an important message.
That's right.
It's very important.
And everyone out there, contact your legislators. Treat them with dignity and respect. Be professional. That's right. Whatever bill's out there, ask them to co-sponsor, or if you got a new one, sponsor it. Say, hey, my name is, such and such. I'm a constituent, let's say, example, Florida resident, and I'm asking my reps, give them the name, the bill number, a slight description, and ask him if he could co-sponsor it or she.
That's right.
And it's very easy. It's simple. I do it myself. And if you don't talk to your rep or senator, you can always, leave a message with them.
You can.
To legislative aid or assistant.
That's right.
It's easy.
It's easy. And the aide doesn't want to spend all day on the phone. They take the message. They're polite, and they take down the pertinent information, and off they go. It's efficient, and they, I've had people in D.C. and in Tallahassee say, we've had a lot of calls on the other side, but we haven't had very many on the good, on your side. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So they don't necessarily keep score, but if they've got 50 calls from the good guys and only a few from the bad guys, that's a good day, or vice versa. It's not so good. But they do make a note, and like I said before, we got to show up and call, a real call. Email's okay, but a call is better.
Yes. And you know what, Kate? We got a packed house. This is wonderful. You want to take some calls?
Sure.
Okay, hey, callers. This is awesome. I knew this would be the grand finale. We got fireworks going off. Okay, area code 407. You are live and on the air. Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Care for Animals. Am I speaking with Patricia?
No, this
Hello?
is Carla. Hi, this is Carla.
Oh, Carla, I'm sorry, because I'm expecting. Oh, Carla, I'm sorry, because there's. But go ahead. Kate was telling me about you. Welcome to the show. This is wonderful. Go right ahead.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, and Kate's doing a great job as always. I just wanted to mention again that how important it is as animal advocates that we're always polite with these issues. I always tell people that it's not a left or right issue. It's not left or right. It's what's right and wrong with the animals. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the animal issues are bipartisan. So even if you believe one way or the other, that doesn't matter necessarily when it comes to animal issues. Mm-hmm. So please always keep that in mind, and always remember to be polite, because we're representing the animals. It's so important.
So true, Carla.
That's right.
So
don't put the differences in there. We all got to work together. Because if you look at our Democrat Party or Republican, the House of Representatives, they're all mixed up. So we cannot just, discriminate. Say, nope, I'm not the contact. They're not my party. No, that's not going to get you nowhere. It's going to get zero accomplishment.
That's right. And
so,
Humane Lobby Day is Humane Lobby Day is an awesome experience. I encourage anyone listening to definitely go, and it's wonderful. It's so informative.
Carla helps we work together on Humane Lobby Day. It's a great day, and a lot of it is thanks to Carla. Yes.
Carla, thank you for calling in. This is wonderful. And are you with the Humane Society of the United States?
I'm a volunteer.
All right. Well, thank you for all you do. A big shout out to all the volunteers and staff and everything. Take teamwork.
Thank you, Carla. She does so much great work on every animal issue under the sun, and she's taught me a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it takes all of us, and we inspire each other to keep going. Just doing what we can. Isn't that wonderful?
That's exactly right. It is wonderful. I'm so fortunate to know her. She and Brian are amazing advocates. They literally know every animal protection issue very well. And Florida is much better to have them because they're here and have been working on these issues for a long time. So that's a great thing.
Yes. I love to hear uplifting and inspiring work that all of you do. I mean, it's so, keeps us going. Look how huge Humane Society of the United States is. I've had, more of the guests, the lost count, and they're always welcome back, So, got Humane Society International. I mean, it's huge. And I looked on their page on Facebook, it's 2.5 million likes. I mean, that is amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's awesome. And I am proud to work for the HSUS. I really am. And I love that I have colleagues that know all these issues. And they're experts. Somebody's an expert on this, and somebody else is a real expert on this over here. And it's amazing. There's such knowledge, deep knowledge within the organization. And I am proud that we work to protect all the animals. So that's how, how we roll.
Somebody's at the door, so I'm going to, hello, who's at the door? Area code 209. You're live and on the air. You have any comments or questions for Kate there? Hello? Code 209.
Hi, Kate?
Yes.
Kate, go ahead.
I just want to say I really appreciate all the legislative work you do. Animals definitely need laws to protect them, and we have to take action. We really do have to get active, and I like who the previous speaker mentioned, that it's not politics. It's not red or blue. It's right or wrong. It's black and white, and we know what's right or wrong. So you really just have to say to yourself, I'm an independent. I'm working for the animals. This is who I need to reach out to. Whether you're blue and they're red, it doesn't matter. You just go.
Yes.
You don't express any. You don't express any of those concerns when they're just real quick with you on the phone and they're off. They don't want to. They're just tallying you. They're just doing a tally, and you'll be on the phone for 1 minute, and you've done a tremendous amount of good for the animals with 1 minute.
Yes. Right.
Once you try it, it's nothing.
Brilliant. Is this Michelle called in?
This is.
Hey, Michelle. Oh my goodness. Kate, it's her birthday today. Michelle.
Well, happy birthday.
Oh,
yes,
well, thank you.
And I put something on my timeline and the Voices Carry for Animals group. She is a great team player.
I love promoting your channel, your podcast, your YouTube, your everything because you do a lot of promotion.
Are a super team player. Oh my goodness.
You promote so much legislation that is so important to the animals. And then once those laws get passed for the animals in every type of group, I'm talking all animals. I particularly am kind of more trained into farm animal rights, but I'm for all animal rights. And so if we join together with all animals instead of just like I only work with cats, I only work with wildlife. Even though we specialize kind of when it comes to getting legislation passed, we have to come together. Another group we need to really get a branch out to and bring them into the animal rights movement, especially for the one that I do a lot of work with for farm animals, with factory farming. We have to get environmental groups to come out publicly.
Yes.
And that's hard to do because of their donors.
Yes.
Are I'm sorry to say, heavily into animal acts. Some are, some aren't. But so they kind of shy away, and there's got to be a way that we can kind of bridge and bring that momentum because those numbers are bigger than our animal rights. We join those together, we're powerful because it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers.
You're so right.
People,
you
power,
are so right
and
about
numbers all the way.
And so I applaud both of you for doing exactly that every single day. And I know it's every single day. Probably every minute of every single day. If you're not doing something, you're worrying about it or thinking about it. So
that's right. Oh my gosh.
That's it.
You're right. You're right.
So I thank you.
Michelle,
Thank you for the happy birthday
wish. Too. I mean, you're amazing. What you do, how you help me out. I mean, and a lot of people help me out. Don't get me wrong, okay? But
we all do our part.
So much. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. You're so nice, and keep up the amazing work that you do. So thank you so much for the call.
Back at you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
She even helps me on X, Facebook X. I mean, she's amazing.
Oh, God,
okay,
it's so awesome.
And when I see that, it inspires me to keep going.
I think the news. I think the news media outlets are getting a little bit tired of me because I think I've like spamming them to death because I do present a lot of unpleasant investigations to their news media desks. So some pick them up and some don't. But you know what? We've been getting some farm animal, factory farming coverage locally, nationwide, bits and pieces here. And you know what? They need disaster plans too.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. I don't even want to tell you with these hurricanes.
Yeah, I know all about that. I know all about that.
The chickens, because there's no power, where's the plan?
Then we walk away. They walk away, and then we pay them to walk away, and with our tax dollars, don't get me started on the bailouts. I'm going to go crazy.
No, the hurricanes, though. We know hurricanes are coming. You're going to lose power. What is the plan? And it's hundreds and thousands of chickens in Florida perished after these hurricanes this year.
Their plan is right now is to walk away and let the taxpayer dollars replenish the flock after they've been caged and drowned to death in their cages. Painful and frightened to death.
Slow. Yes.
Before actual death. I mean, that's just...
Yes.
But,
it's like from a horror
so there's
movie.
A lot of work to do.
To believe it's real. Yes, there is.
There's a lot of work to do, and we can do it.
We can.
Yes, we
can.
And
thank you. You're so right about that.
Yes, we can.
And as long as a lot of Thank you. I just want to say one more thing. A lot of news media doesn't want some of it is, bigger than what we can get to because of dollars, money, big ad funding, with advertising and such. But you know what? Sometimes when you flag news media or you flag lawmakers, somebody's going to see that sometimes. Say, you know what? I'm going to cover that. Like just the other day, James Les Mitchell, who's an animal rights activist.
Yeah.
He was mentioned on CNN the other day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Her channel. So now she's got a bunch more viewers, and she promotes animal rights conference. All kinds of trials with DXD trials she's going on, right to rescue, all kinds of different avenues going on in different field of animals with farm animals or wildlife or entertainment, laboratory, fashion. She's there. So that
she
was
is. That's great. That's wonderful. Love to hear that.
Yeah. So thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you,
Michelle.
I know.
Yes.
It's so great to talk
up.
to you and hear about the good stuff. Yes.
She is something else. She is out there. She's doing it.
We need more people like Michelle and Carla.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I told them. And yeah, I think so. I definitely think so because, she's right, or you're right, whoever said it, that, I am working on this stuff all the time. And in my free time, I volunteer at my shelter. I do a lot of stuff like many of us do, but it's uplifting. And there are good days and bad days, just like everybody. But, a little pep talk from Carla or one of our other volunteers is so meaningful. We lean on each other, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and helps us, keep fighting, and keep working on, for the animals. We all would do it anyway, but it helps us, there's peaks and valleys, just like, the different campaigns and all the issues. And it's so helpful to have meaningful, thoughtful, committed advocates to work with.
That's right. And you had brought up Jane Velez Mitchell. She was several years ago. She was, I guess, on my show several times. So I know what you're talking about. She's out there. Great. She is relentless, a fireball.
Oh, yeah. She is awesome.
A powerhouse.
A powerhouse for sure.
Too, so you have no room to talk.
Well, we try.
I know,
we certainly
but it's great,
do.
It is so great to even be connected with you two. I mean, it's wonderful, this inspiration. And I was going to ask you something, Michelle. The federal bills, remember I've been passing them around. I got one on my page and all that. It's been coming in slow for the federal bills for the animals. There's like 19 of them. So I'm going to be sharing them again because it's coming, because I get alerted in my on my phone, on emails. And it's moving very slowly. I mean, the SAFE Act on there, you should see this list. But it needs more people getting hold of co-sponsors for reps, before we want to see them all pass without fail, right? I mean, we don't want to see them die out in 24. And so I'm going to do something on my website, everyone, okay? Again, and to please contact your state reps. That's where the changes start. If we don't get new laws, we're only spinning our wheels, okay?
And it takes 1 minute at a time.
Vote them in for.
Yes. That's right. And
Michelle, they need to know. They need to know that animal rights are important to voters. And that's the only way they're going to know.
And if we don't speak up, they won't. And what I tell people who might be nervous to call or whatever, I love what you said. It literally takes a minute. They don't want to spend all day on the phone with you asking you questions. They don't have the time. They don't. That's not how it works. They just say, okay, here's the deal. But I also tell people if that makes them nervous, they can call after hours and leave a voicemail.
Exactly.
And that's okay too, instead of speaking with a person. But to make that phone call, I mean, emails are fine, but a phone call is so much better. And it's so meaningful.
You kind of, just challenge yourself the first time, and then when you discover it's so easy, and why was I worried about this person just wanted to get my name, number, and zip code, and if I was pro or against, and bye.
Bye. Yeah. See ya.
And, and you're wanting to tell them, well, I want to say a few more words. I strongly urge you to please urge Senator to, co-sponsor, a particular bill. And they really just want to get down to it. Names,
they do. They're fast.
Code.
Yep, quick, and it's so easy. I love the way you said that.
And it's so
takes
powerful. It's so powerful.
Yes.
Because you've actually spoke. Think of yourself as an animal who is in a cage, and there's billions of them right now across the United States. They're in cages. Think of yourself as one of those animals in a cage that received an opportunity to call and ask for help. Just be that person and put yourself in their place for a moment and think about just how easy that phone call is going to be.
That's right. You said it, Michelle, right
when you
there.
Put it into perspective, what am I challenging myself to versus who is the person I'm speaking for and where are they right now? What do they need me to do? Can I give them a minute? Right. And that's what you say, and you do it.
Right.
And it's easy. And you sit down. I even do emails also, Get your representative. You can find them, find your representative, search your zip code, and get the letter
emails
to them.
Are great.
I do that. I do both. I do phone calls and emails.
Emails are great, too. I mean, if you're just dead set against, I cannot make the phone call, then do the email.
That's right.
At least do the email or go on their contact form on their website.
Yeah,
but
or on their Facebook page
there you go.
All
right there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to keep track of that on the emails, right? I mean, that's what
they
I heard.
They do. Their staff does.
Yes.
They do keep track.
Contact. And if you can expose some things and maybe try to get some news media coverage, if you're on X or if you're on Facebook, if you want to tag Good Morning America or your local newspaper or whatever, just, let them expose some truth. It doesn't, let them, educate them about what's going on that they conceal. Most industries conceal, a lot of, your hunting and your, I don't know, I'm not, of course I love wildlife and I would advocate it any day of the week. And I do whenever I get an opportunity. But a lot of people are not educated on behind the scenes of, what the industry hides. And so if you can kind of tag news media on some things that may not be pleasant to view, sometimes it's enlightening. Some people don't even know that cows don't need to be pregnant in order to give milk.
Right. Yeah.
And don't know what happens to the babies because we are stealing the milk. Yeah. People don't know basic things like that. So if you can tag and educate some news media that are saying, what, huh? Or that, 1-day-old baby male chicks are ground up.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Now, people can't even comprehend. They don't know. And not even a lot of news media know. It's very concealed. And so if you can just, and it's repetitive, and it's not going to get picked up probably 100 times, but you might find someone that does. Vox is very good. Guardian's good. They do a lot of coverage on animal rights issues. And so, I've been even flagging NPR, PBS, Politico has done a few things. Washington Post. There was a ban factory farming measure in Sonoma County, and we got a lot of national hits, local hits, a lot of national media because Big Ag was very concerned about that local measure passing, and they threw a lot of money to make sure it didn't. But people need to realize what's going on.
They have to know what's going on behind the scenes. That's the main thing. And Michelle, 1 second, stay on air, okay? But I wanted to give a big thank you and a shout out to Patricia Perry, Paws Across America. She's supposed to be calling in to thank her on air for all she does. She's an admin on my Voices Care for Animals group, and she's just rocking it away. And please visit that. But thank you, Patricia, because she had to pick up her grandson. And I wanted to give a shout-out to Mama Cat, a big supporter of this show. She just came to Florida in the Keys, and she got pneumonia, ended up in the hospital, got out, and released her and had to go back in. And now they released her today. So the power of prayers, everyone. Thank you. And Mama Cat, I'm giving you a big air hug through the airways, and I wish you could have called in tonight, but so glad you're better. And I have another friend, Susan Day. She's in the hospital. She'll be in there another couple of days. She's another animal advocate. And so, you guys, you never know. The holidays are coming, and just be careful out there. We got some cold weather here in Florida, right, Kate? I mean, it's something else. So
it is.
But Michelle, I can't thank you enough. And I know you know Patricia Perry.
You've talked about her.
Paws Across America. I've had them on the show before. The founder passed away years ago. Cecilia Maiden, may she rest in peace. But I had her on the show several times, and it's just a great team, Kate and Michelle. What's going on here? Chain reaction, people power in numbers.
Yes.
And this has been another great show this evening. I knew we'd be going out with the grand finale. Thank you, Kate. Thank you,
love
Michelle. And Carla, who called in. Thank her too. Okay,
she's dynamite.
You can hear me.
Yes.
And I've got to go over a couple things here, ladies.
Okay.
Kate, I'm looking forward to having you back in 2025. I hope I find a new podcast and start up.
I can't wait. It'll be great.
I'm not going to get rid of my podcast. There is no way. And I got to talk blog talk into getting somebody new. So that's going to be a job and a half. So anybody, my YouTube channel just started up last week. Please check it out, okay? And the good news is all my shows have been saved on podserve.fm, Voices Care for Animals. So all the shows have been saved. And this is another good news. They're going out. After the show's downloaded, it's going to go out to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Pod Paradise FM, CastBox, Pocket Cast, Castro Podcast, Amazon, Podbay.fm. Listen to this list so you can listen to them from all these shows. And if you want to visit my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I got 5 videos up right now. And tonight, Kate, I'm going to put this show on there also, so I'll alert you when I do it. And everything.
Okay, good.
Isn't that wonderful? I love this.
Yes,
I'm so excited.
I love this too.
Yes, and I know my Michelle, she's going to be helping me out too, because she always does. And she tags all these news stations and everything. She is amazing.
Wow.
And Michelle, I see that on X where you tag all these. I mean, it's like, wow, she's incredible. But anyway, I hope everyone, whether you have a very Merry Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating, be safe out there and keep thinking about the animals and getting their rights, granted, not ignored. Help them out, because we are their only hope to carry on. Okay, yeah. And Happy New Year. Hope your New Year is better, stronger, healthier, and blessed New Year 2025. And looking forward to come back in 2025. I'll be having my shows until January 30th on Blog Talk Radio. But after that, I have this time to get a new one. But I will alert everybody, okay?
Okay.
And thank you, Kate, so much. And
thank you.
Looking forward to having you back, Michelle. You rock. You rock.
I'm thank you for letting me jump on in.
Hey, anytime you call it, anytime you want to, okay?
Okay, thank you. thank you to everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless you all.